Well, here we are. It's the end of December, and I'm getting those questions again, like I do typically every year around this time. Jeff, should I be prospecting right now? You know, I don't think my customers' minds are where they need to be. I don't think they're really focused on their business. I think they're trying to wrap up the projects that they have so that they can put them down for a long winter's nap, if you will. I think that they're thinking about the time they're going to be spending with their families. They're doing last minute holiday shopping. I think a lot of them are off at that week or between the holidays there, and I don't think they're going to want to hear from any salespeople. Well, the answer to this is going to be different for everybody. Because here's the thing, the first thing that I hear when people say that is, it sounds like you want to put your business down for a long winter's nap. It sounds like you want to lay low over the holidays. It sounds like you may not be entirely focused on what you need to be doing right now, and you're seeing enough of a response from your customers and your prospects to give you the plausible deniability to not have to do it. And so I'm going to ask you first and foremost, before I actually go and answer this question, I'm going to ask you a question. Are you checked out? Are you the one who's looking to put all that stuff down? If that's the case, then maybe you need to consider just shutting it down and taking that time off. I think the last couple of years have been harder on most of us than we're willing to admit. And if you need a rest, take the rest. But a couple of things. Make sure that you make that rest worthwhile. Make sure you actually rest. Make sure you come back recuperated and reinvigorated so you can do the best work you can possibly do. That's a great reason to take a rest, is when you notice that you're not doing the work you're capable of and you need some time to catch up and recharge. I'll take that. The other thing, though, is do you have some unfinished business that you need to take care of that you can wrap up before the end of the year and help your company and your team? If you can, then you need to weigh that value of that against the value of taking that rest right now. Rest the first week of January. That's not a bad deal either. But I want to get back to this question. Should you be prospecting right now? And I posed this question to my community at rethinkthewayyouSell.com, and I got a variety of different answers, as I expected I would. Some people said, make the calls while no one else is making the calls. Make the calls while your customers have a little bit of free time on their hands. Maybe they're at the office and they don't want to necessarily do any work, and you can be the distraction that they're looking for. Other people have said that, CEOs are picking up the phone this time of year, and you can make a connection and actually get the ball rolling in this time better than you can at other times when things are busier. And then there are, of course, the industries and the businesses who literally are putting their feet up, hanging a closed sign on the door and saying, we'll see you next year. So it depends on who you're calling on. And it depends on what is the best use of your time. As a business owner, you may have some end of the year wrap-up stuff that you need to take care of that is actually more important during this time than prospecting is. Or, like I mentioned before, maybe the best use of your time is to give yourself the gift of time and stop doing what you're doing right now and go get that break, rest, and recover. But you have to ultimately understand, and you have to answer this question for yourself. Is prospecting the best use of my time? Based on what I know, based on what I see, based on what I'm experiencing right now, have I given the effort necessary to know what that answer is really going to be? If that answer is yes, if that answer is prospecting is a very good use of my time right now, then you should pick up the phone. You should get your fingers humming on that keyboard. You should be doing something to reach out to people because you believe you can reach them. If that's not the best use of your time, then it really doesn't matter what anybody else says because no one knows your business as well as you know your business. And what I will also remind you of is that throughout this next year, this is an opportunity to build relationships, make connections, and start having conversations, maybe especially as you get into Q3 and the first part of Q4, and get a feel for what your prospects and your customers are doing this time of the year, next year. And maybe that information, that knowledge will help you plan accordingly for what these next these 2 weeks during next year can be for you. So I hate to answer a question with, well, it depends, but Ultimately, it doesn't matter what I think is going to be the best use of your time during the holidays. It's what you know will be the best use of your time. And what you believe will manifest itself in how you act. So commit one way or the other, but the choice is up to you.